Now in this video we're going to have a look at how to rename files en masse using Excel text functions that we've already had a look at. So first of all, I've got this folder here, and what I want to do is I want to append to, before the .mp4, I want to put in 6 digits. Now I could do that on each one of them. I could go and type in my 6-digit number, but that would take ages. I've got 37 items. It could be I could have 1,000 items. So let's use Excel and something else called the command prompt to be able to do this. So first of all, we need the command prompt. So I'm going to go to my taskbar, and in the search I'm going to type CMD, and that should get you the command prompt. Now you need to go to the right drive. So currently I'm on the C drive. I want to go to the D drive, which is D:. The colon's important. And now I want to go to this particular directory. So what I'm going to do is up here in Windows Explorer or File Explorer, I'm going to click on it, and you can see that we now have the full directory path. So I'm going to copy that and go back to the command prompt and go CD for change directory and a space, open speech marks, paste, which is Control and V, and close speech marks. So now I'm in that directory. Now I'm in this directory, I can get a catalogue of all of the files that are in it. And I'm going to do that by going cat space star space and 2 greater than signs to say I want this to be saved to cat.txt. So press enter. So now in the command prompt I can go CD, change directory, space, quotation marks, speech marks, and then paste, Control and V, and then end the speech marks. So now I'm in this directory. So what I can do now I'm in this directory is to have a catalogue of everything which is in this folder. So I do this by going dir for directory, space, star, space, and then 2 greater than signs to say I want the results to go to, and I'm going to say cat.txt. Press enter, and you'll see that a new file has appeared in the folder. Now just a note, if you had wanted this folder and all of the subfolders to be created, then you can also do that with /s. Notice which way the slash goes. And if you didn't want anything like the file names or anything like that, then you could do /b, and you can combine the two. So I'm going to choose this particular version that we have done. Now I'm going to open up Excel, and I'm going to open up this file. So I'm going to go File, Open, Browse. In here I'm going to the file name, I'm going to put the path that I've got. I'm going to change this from all Excel files to all text files, and there is my cat.txt file. I want this to be a fixed width file because I want the date in one column, the size in another, and the file name in another. So I'm just double clicking on these to move them, to remove them. I'm dragging these to move them, and there we go. So now I'll click finish, and I have in here all of the file names. So now I need to update the file name, and we do that with a function called substitute, which we have used earlier on in this series. So I'm substituting in this text, instead of having .mp4, I will have my 6 digits and then .mp4. Now there is another way of doing this. I could say I want the entirety of the text apart from the last 4 characters. So give me all of the text. I need the length of the text, but subtract 4 characters, and then I put in what I want at the end. So in this particular case, it will work either way. So let me just put this all the way down. So now I need to rename the files. So I do this with a formula which uses concatenation, which we've looked at earlier. So rename, REN space, and then I need speech marks. So we've seen how to do speech marks, so either char 34 or we do open and close speech marks twice. So whichever way you do it, then the original file name, and then close the speech marks, and then a space, and then more speech marks, and then the new file name, and then close the speech marks. So it might look like a fair bit of work, but you can see what we have got. Rename the old file for the new file. Now, if just to do this again with all of the quotation marks in, so rename speech marks, and then I want to close the formula. So far that gives us ren space and a speech mark, and then the old file name, and then set a speech mark. So I've got to have one speech marks to open it, and then another two to create speech marks, then a space, and then another speech mark, and then close the formula, and then have which cell we're talking about, and then another speech mark. So open the speech marks, give me a speech mark, and close the speech marks. So we've been in previous videos to show why we need 3 or even 4 speech marks. But again, both of these will give you exactly the same result. So whichever one you're more comfortable with, that's the one I would use. Personally, I use this one because this is very formulaic. 3 speech marks, space, 3 speech marks. It's something quite easy that I use. So now I copy this down, and that gives me all of the instructions that I need to rename them. So I'll copy this, and then I go back into the command prompt. So I'm just showing you the command prompt with the name of the files as well, because you will see as soon as I go paste, all of these files will be renamed. Now just bear in mind that there is no undo button. You can't go back to where you are without having created a new formula. So let's paste, Ctrl and V, and notice what happens over here. All of these have now been renamed. So I hope you enjoyed this Excel text functions exercise. This shows how you can use all of these functions that we have been learning to have real world results. So this is something that could have taken you quite a while in File Explorer, or you could have needed another program. In truth, all you need is Excel and the command prompt, and everybody has the command prompt on their Windows machine. Now, just to show you what it looks like if you want to use the /b, so we go back to our dir space star and go /b. So let's open that up. So this gives me just the file names, so that might be easier. The B is for a bare format. And similarly, if I want all files and recurring files, so I'll just go back a directory, cd space ... to go to Power BI, and now I'm going to go exactly the same thing. So I'm putting in the bare directory as well. Here is my cat3 text that's just been generated. And here are all of the folders, and then in the first folder all of the various files, and then within that we've got another subfolder and so on. So what I generally do when I'm doing this is I don't have the /b, I just have the /s. So here's my version of /s just been generated. So let's open up it in Excel. So here's my fixed width. So it really depends what you want, whether you want the name of the files or whether you want the path. So both are pretty good. So if we just have a look and see what it does. So I just need to get all of these in the right places. You can see that we've got the first directory, and then the next directory, and then the next directory. Looking at the /b/s version, that just gives me a very long amount of text with all of the folders, all of the files. So I generally prefer the other version simply because I can tell what are directories and what are files. So this is a directory. I'm going to copy all the directory down. So I'm saying if the left of this for 9 characters equals directory, then this is exactly what we want. So I'm going to say concatenate all of these together, and if it's not, then let's just have what was above. And you'll see how this works in just a moment. So here we have the directory. I'm going to now copy this all the way up and down. And so you can see at every point which directory I'm in. So Power BI, Camtasia and so forth. And then I can do a filter on everything which is not a directory, for example, or anything that is not a file end, like this with the word fill in, F-I-L. So I hope this was interesting. I hope you are able to use this to be able to rename your own files. Please bear in mind, as I said, there is no undo function. I'm not responsible if you've accidentally renamed or, heaven forfend, delete any files. You should do this at your own risk. And so given that, I'd suggest before you actually do the renaming, what you could do is just create a copy and do all of this in a copy of the file, or at least you've got a backup. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please click a like, and even better, why don't you subscribe and click the bell, and that way you'll be notified of any new videos. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next video.